Hello everyone, this is VyrtiC here, and welcome to The Test. The Test is a psychological horror game in which you partake in a test, in which you're given a series of questions which you will have to answer as truthfully as possible in order to unveil a darker, hidden, secret message about yourself. That's what the Steam page says. So, just a little bit of a message from myself. I already played this game, and I kind of enjoyed it. So I'm playing it again, but with one rule, because I know a couple of things that will happen throughout this playthrough. I'm going to stick with my original answers as best as I can for a couple of sections at least. So I kind of speedrun this game. You know, it took me like 10 minutes to go through the whole game in my first sitting because I was just, speedrunning it kind of. But this time I'm going to take my time a little bit more and let's just start a new game. And there we are. Now, in order to begin, this is the most important part of this entire experience. You will be asked a series of questions, and you must answer them honestly. Now, when I say answer them honestly, I don't mean answer them how you'd like to answer them. Answer them with truth, even if that's hard to face. We all want to be good people. We rarely want to admit our faults, grievances, or mistakes. But you must decide what you truly want. Do you want this to work properly? Do you want the truth about yourself, your destiny in this world? Or would you rather live a lie just to hide from yourself? The process is very simple, in theory. Just answer a long series of questions. What's difficult is self-analyzing, your own psyche to evaluate the truth in your own mind and life so that you can predict your future. You see, as long as you're honest with these questions and answers, you'll be able to see your own future here. This will tell you things you already know, but don't necessarily know that you know. As long as the answers you provide to the questions are asked are 100% honest and true, this process will simply unlock a part of your mind that you do not have natural access to. This isn't psychic. This isn't a personality test. This is simply nature. This is you. This is your own mind. This is simply nature taking its course. This is the human brain at work unlocking the hidden truth within itself. While attempting to answer as many of these questions, you'll often wonder things like, well, this answer depends on the circumstances. Create your own circumstances in your mind and answer the questions with a simple yes or no as you see fit. You may not understand nor realize it, but your mind will develop the situation required to answer your question the way it needs to be answered. I invite you to grab a drink of water, sit back, relax, and enjoy the experience. We're about to begin with a series of questions, and provided that you're a willing participant, we will be unlocking some substantial information today. Here we go. And before we actually begin, I'm just going to turn around real quick and grab my bottle of water. That is nearly empty, but I think I might need this today. So, let's begin. Would you be alright with living alone forever? Honestly, this is already a difficult question, right? So, I think at least 50% introverted, so I like my time being alone, right? So living alone would mean, staying in a house alone, in my mind at least, not having a significant other. So usually I would choose yes. but I can't do without my friends, you know? But living alone forever, I think, means living in a house with a significant other, and that means, yeah, I could see myself, you know, be alone forever, even if that sounds sad. But I'm fairly, you know, efficient when I'm alone, so that's my answer for this one. Do you like the color blue more than the color black? Ah, difficult question again. I mean, looking at my closet right now, I can tell you that a lot of my stuff I own, my clothing, is mostly black. You know, with some designs and stuff like that on there, but the main color is always black, so another yes it is. If you found money on the street and knew who it belonged to, would you give it back to them? This is such a good question. I mean, if you saw, you know, someone drop like 20 bucks on the street, or 50, let's say 50. Let's make it a more significant amount of money. And you saw that person drop it. Huh. Well, that's a difficult thing, but I'm just going to go with no. Because money is tight for everyone. Fuck you all. No, I'm just kidding. Are you sure you want the answers you seek? Yes. Are you afraid of spiders? Oh, I'm not sure about that. Oh, honestly, I am not. I'm trying to recollect what I did the first time, but I think I chose yes for this one. Because even though I'm not afraid of spiders, like I'm not the type of guy that runs out of the room if I see the spider, if I see one like crawling like next to me on the wall or something like that, it is going to jump scare me. So I think there is some fear in that, so I'm going to choose yes. If you knew you would emerge unscathed, would you jump into molten lava? So this one is a clear no for me. And just because even if I knew, how do I know? Right? No wait. I can't really say. I would know that I would come out unscathed. But for that I would have to have some protection, right? Like a suit or something. And that could fail, and that would terrify me, probably. More than I would want to, so I probably wouldn't jump into lava. Would you consider yourself to be fat? I think everyone does, especially at these rough times. You know, there's a certain thing going on that prevents people from pretty much going outside, so yes. Would you say that you have lots of charisma? Honestly, no. Have you ever wished you could be temporarily frozen? No. This is all very interesting. Did you realize that the last letter of the previous 5 questions, when put together, spell the name Satan? So, during the intro, I said I knew a couple of things that were going on in this game, and this is one of them. So, even though I knew this was going to happen, I'm going to go with no. Because during the time I played this, which was 7 in the morning, while I still had, you know, my coffee I drank after waking up and stuff like that, I didn't really look out for stuff like that. And I'm just going to go with no again, because I want to be as truthful as possible and make it like it's my first playthrough. My first real playthrough. Does it make you uncomfortable? No. Honestly, no. Are you good at finding hidden puzzles or clues? This is a broad question. Even though I didn't find this hidden puzzle per se, if I'm playing another game, like Amnesia or something like that, right? Like, let's say we're playing Amnesia The Dark Descent, and I'm playing I don't know, like a custom story, right? I'm pretty good at finding hidden stuff there. Usually, because I check everything, pretty much, even if it doesn't seem that way. I mean, I cut out a lot of stuff when I played Amnesia, so yes, usually I find hidden stuff pretty well. Are you now wondering what the other hidden messages are placed within these questions? So this is another one I'm going to go with no, because at 7 AM in the morning I honestly didn't care enough. Have you been entirely honest with your answers this far? Yes. Are you afraid of the consequences for answering questions dishonestly? No. Were you aware that there could be potential consequences for answering dishonestly? No. Are you wondering how these questions began to take a strange turn? Nope. Would you consider yourself captivated? Yes. Very interesting. Would you consider yourself to be brave? Yes. No. I mean, I didn't jump into molten lava, but would that make me not brave? Or would that make me not suicidal? One or the other. I mean, you know, I did some parkour in my childhood. We were on some pretty tall buildings, so, you know, pretty brave, I think. Do you view yourself as someone with above average intelligence? See, I don't like this question. I really dislike this question for one thing. And that is, in my opinion, intelligence is much more than just the word, right? You could be intelligent, right, in a couple of different areas you know, specialize yourself in or do whatever, but you could be the most idiotic piece of shit in other areas, right? So let's take, for example, math, right? A lot of people hate math, but a lot of people can do other things really, really well that might not have math as a, you know, normal construct of reasoning. Like, let's say programming for me. Programming for me is the easiest thing ever. I always passed my exams in uni and stuff like that with, like, flying colors. But I hate math. So, since, like, both of these things are logic dependent, and I can do one thing and the other I can't do so well, does that make me smart or stupid? And that is why I'm confused with that question. I mean, I could go with my degrees and, you know, I've been going to university and stuff like that. So I'm technically the elite, as people would call it in Germany, sometimes at least. So I should go with yes, technically. In my first playthrough, I went with no, because I don't like that thought of, you know, oh, I'm smarter than everyone else, because I think that's just stupid. Like, how high can you be, right? How high must your nose be to think that way? But if I go with facts in quotation marks, like, I got, you know, my high school degree, if I convert it to English speaking people, you know, I got my German Abitur, which is like high school or something like that. Like, it's hard to compare those two because I'm not sure with the US school system and stuff like that, but, and I went to university and stuff like that, so I should technically probably go with yes, even though I don't like it. Have you been looking for hidden messages in these questions? No. Are you wondering which hidden messages you may have missed? Now that you're asking it, sure, why not? Have you begun to wonder how long this test will take, or how many questions exist in this session? Honestly, I don't care. Would you consider yourself to be a patient person? That depends on the situation. A lot of the times, yes. A lot of the times, no. I would go with... I'm leaning towards no, honestly. Because if something... I wouldn't say doesn't go my way, because a lot of things don't go as you would imagine them to go in the day-to-day life, but if something really grinds my gears, I'm really impatient, so I would go with no. Do most humans annoy you? And I think this is a question I am going to change from my first playthrough. I went with yes, because, I don't know, I probably was in a bad mood when I woke up or something, and only had bad thoughts in mind, but no. I would say no. Usually people don't heavily annoy me. Do you prefer animals to people? Ooh, yeah. This is a question. This is a question. Yes, this is a question. I know that. It's. Oh, this is an annoying question, because I had a couple of pets growing up, and I loved those pets to pieces. Do you even say that? Probably don't, no. But, like, I loved those burps I had as a child. I'm sad they're no longer around, honestly. But even though I loved my animals, all of them were birds, they were little budgies, I loved them to bits, I think I will need to go with people, just because, you know, your bird, your dog, your cat can be cute, you know, can get your mind maybe out of a really stressful day when you're just chilling on the couch and your cat decides to jump onto the couch and just chill next to you, and you can just pet it and stuff like that. You know, it's nice, but you know, sometimes you just need a person to talk to, honestly. So, no. Do you believe in magic? Quite quick no on that. Do you believe in God or the existence of some form of higher power? This will probably upset a couple of people, but I think I have to go with no. Even though I'm not an atheist, per se. I think I'm what you would call agnostic. I'm not sure about the definition, but as long as I pretty much what I would say in this scenario is, or no, what I want to say in this scenario is, as long as I cannot prove the existence of God or him not existing, I would rather just shut up and, you know, let the people live how they want to. So, you know, I'm not a yes or no person in this question, but, yeah, life happened, and I think I need to go with no for this one. Might have been also because of very, very, very religious parents that, you know, can't shut up about God existing and stuff like that, and not giving two shits about how we're actually feeling. But I think I'm going with no just because of life and circumstances and stuff like that. So I hope I don't annoy anyone with that answer. If you're religious, you're still welcome here. let me just say it like that. This turned out. This is fuck. I'm sorry. But yeah. Moving on. This like religion and stuff like that is way too deep of a topic for me to dive into right now. So let's just move on. Yeah. Do you fear death? Yes. Yes. Even though life is hard sometimes, it's the only life you're ever going to probably get. Unless your, you know, religion includes some sort of resurrection or stuff like that. But technically speaking, we don't know if, if you die, it's the end or not. So that uncertainty makes death kind of scary in a way. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm heavily terrified of dying, but I wouldn't want to die if someone was like holding a gun to my head and was asking for my wallet. I wouldn't be like, go fuck yourself, and he would shoot me in the head and would die, and that's that. I don't know. It's hard question. Are you attracted to someone whom you're not currently in a relationship with? Attracted? Sure. Yeah, let's go with yes. Did you answer that last question with 100% honesty? Yes. Are you alone? Technically, in my room, yes. In this whole household, no. So, which is it going to be? But I'm going to go with my room, so I'm just going to say yes. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure about that. If I told you with the utmost certainty that there's something watching you, would you believe me? I'm running a Windows system, my guy. Of course someone is watching me. If it's some random AI, something's watching me. So yes. Have you wondered who I am? I honestly couldn't care less. Have you had shivers at any point during the sessions? Sessions, like we played more than one. No. Do you feel like you're being watched? Even though I just went with the Windows roast, I don't care, no. Have you considered quitting the session early? Not at all. Do you drink water every day? Yes. I've just drank a cup or something before this episode. Do you eat at least once per day, every day? Yes. Do you realize that you've missed 7 hidden messages thus far? Yes, because you told me that. Are you wondering what they were? Sure. Go ahead. Would it bother you to never know without finding them for yourself? Wait, let me read that again. Would it bother you to never know without finding them yourself? No, honestly, I don't care at this moment. Is your favorite number 7? No. Life is short, but it's the longest thing we'll ever do. Do you agree? That's going back to the death question. We don't know what's going to happen after death. So, I don't know if my soul's just going to wander around, do some phasmophobia shit, pretty much, or if it's just a black screen, pretty much. But as far as I'm aware, I don't know. So, I don't know, I'm just going to go with yes. Maybe. There's no maybe option. This question, it sucks. Life is short, but it's the longest thing we'll ever do. You know what? I'm going to not think about this question any longer. I'm just going to go with yes, which is the thing I answered on my first round of this game. So let me just go with yes. Oranges cannot be compared to apples. Do you agree? No. Still fruit. Venus is sometimes referred to as the morning star. Did you know that? I think I know something like that, so I'm going to go with yes. There's like this faint memory of that being a thing in the back of my mind, right? So I'm not sure, but I think I heard it somewhere, at least before. So I'm going to go with the yes. It might be my foggy memory fucking me over, but I answered this one as yes, and I will do it again. Everyone deserves a second chance. Do you agree? This might shock a couple of people, but my answer is no. I went with yes before, but that was for small pity stuff, right? Like, you know, there being a fight or something, you know, or, you know, beef with your friends or stuff like that. You know, those things are second chance worthy. But everyone implies that even the child molester in a prison deserves a second chance, and that's a strict no from me. You can do anything you put your mind to. Do you agree? This one is a clear, like the clearest of yeses for me. Because with most things I learned for myself is that that pretty much. If I put my mind to it, I can do it. That's how I got through high school. That's how I got through most of university already. Like, even though university isn't working out the best at the moment, the times in my life where I really put my mind to have always worked out. And exceeding even some stuff teachers have told me before in my life. Like, I remember in middle school, one of the teachers straight up telling me to my face that would never finish high school, which is pretty much equivalent to the Abitur in Germany. I think, at least. If I'm wrong, I'm terribly sorry about that. But the Abitur is pretty much a pretty, you know, decent / high degree you can have. It's a pretty good way to get yourself into colleges, universities, and stuff like that, pretty much. Even though I'm not sure about colleges, but universities in general, or maybe that's the same thing. But again, I'm not too sure about the US school system, so I shouldn't really talk about that. But putting my mind to it, I got through those things, even though no one believed in me. So I would just say yes, because that's what life has proven to me, pretty much. So I'm just going to go with yes. Obedience is more important than freedom. Do you agree? No, I actually kind of like my freedom. Thank you. Underwater adventures sound like a fun time. Do you agree? Honestly, this might shock a couple of people again. Yes. Hell yes. I'm a huge fan of horror, right? And even though the dark blue sea, the deep blue sea, scares me, I would probably have a weird kick out of it, sort of say. Just because I like to scare myself to an unhealthy amount, usually. I would probably find that to be very interesting and most likely fun as well. To a certain point, while also being terribly terrified at the same time. So, yes. Yes. Did you realize that the first letters of the previous 8 questions spelled the phrase, I love you? Have to go with my standard answer for this one? No. Do you wish to be loved? Ooh. What a question. What a question. Doesn't everyone want to be loved? Even though most depraved, sad, depraved of anything, you know, like staying in their room 24/7 people, pretty much, like basement dwellers, as some people might call them, wish to probably be loved. Otherwise they wouldn't watch Twitch streamers like XYZ. Or something like that. I'm not going to name any streamer names. I'm not stooping that low, but you know what I mean, right? Everyone wants to be loved in some way or another. So, yes, everyone wants to be loved. Do you have any addictions? Oh, fuck. Yes. Do you dislike the color pink? No. Honestly, I love that color. If you look at my background, it's pink. Mostly. And a little bit of purple inside of there as well. But I actually like the color pink. Does the color grey seem depressing? No. Do you enjoy loud music? That's an easy yes. Do you like to dance? Sure. Would you consider yourself normal? No. Do you love your parents? Again, deep questions require deep answers, I think. So, the thing is, as a teenager, like 14, 15, I hated them. Just gonna be blunt and gonna be honest, I hated my parents. Not just because of, you know, the typical teen phase or something like that, right? Like the emo phase or whatever you would call it. But because of stuff I won't talk about here, for obvious reasons. But still, I can't dwell on the negative past, right? There's so much stuff that is great about them. Like, they will always have my back, for example. Even though we have our differences and stuff like that, they will always have my back. And that is really, really, really important in a family, in my opinion. So, you know, even with disagreements and stuff like that, I would still say yes. Just because, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, it's, family is important, right? You can't just dwell on the negatives, you have to also look at the positives. That's all I have to say. And if there are no positives, I don't know how old you are. If you're maybe like 15, 16, 17 or something like that, I would give it a couple of more years, maybe things will improve. It certainly did for me during that age period. If you're already like 20, 25 and, you know, you still hate your parents, the chances are it will never get better, and I'm sorry to hear that. But at this current time, I would say yes. Have I ever been lied to? That's an easy one. Do you get angry often? Hate to admit it, but yes. Do you hold grudges? Yes. Yes. I it depends. I mean, the last question, do you hold grudges, is another really bad one, but if someone does some shitty thing to me and we don't talk about it, I will hold a grudge on someone. And until it isn't solved, I will keep holding that grudge. Yeah, I'm not, yeah, I'm sorry. I can't change the way I am, I guess. Have you ever forgiven someone? Of course I have. Have you ever lied? Yes. Do you think flowers are more beautiful than trees? This is an asshole question again. Because I like nature. I think flowers are beautiful in their own way. But I also like, you know, trees. I mean, you know, chilling in, you know, the woods, going camping or something like that is always a cool experience in my opinion. And therefore I would go with no, because I can't, like, I don't know, this is hard question for me. Have you ever wanted to be an animal instead of a person? No. Do you believe you have psychic powers? Also, no. Have you ever seen a ghost? On YouTube. A lot. I mean, I've been playing this game with my friends lately. It's called Phasmophobia. And I've seen many a ghost. You know, the dots I'm just kidding. No. Do you dream often? Honestly? No, I don't. And that's sad, because I like to dream. Thing is, which is also going to be the follow-up question, because I know those questions right now. I have nightmares fairly often when I dream. When I dream, it's pretty much always a nightmare. I don't know why that is, but let me explain that real quick. I think I can give you a pretty clear explanation on it. So let's say I'm in a dream. Let's say I'm in a wooden house in the woods, right? And I'm coming out of my room, and out of my room there is, like a hallway, right? It's night, but not scary, right? I'm just giving you a little bit of an insight of a nightmare I had, by the way. But the moment I realized in that dream that this was a dream, like a switch flipped in my brain, it turned into a nightmare. And it wasn't anything too bad. I mean, I had this nightmare like 8 years back, so, it was more like a childish nightmare, I would say. So what happened was I went into the hallway, and on my right, like above me, because I was like portrayed as a child in my own dream, like I was like maybe 5 years old in that dream. Like I could walk and stuff like that, but I was obviously short. So I looked up at the window on my right in this hallway, right, which was to the outside, and it was raining. There was lightning and stuff like that going around, and it looked pretty, but at this point the flip had already switched in my brain, so I was terrified. And the end of the stream was I went forward 2 steps, and suddenly a completely like shadow figure appeared right in front of me, and I woke up. Like, that scared the shit out of me, and I woke up. Like, that was when I was, I don't know, like 14 or something like that. Like, it scared the shit out of me. Great dream though, but yeah, I do have nightmares often. Pretty often. Do you suffer from anxiety attacks? Yes. Do you suffer from depression? Also yes. Do you exercise often and stay active? During the last few months, I've been trying to get more active again. So, right now I would say yes. Would you consider yourself to be emotionally wounded? Easy yes. Have you ever felt betrayed? Also yes. Do you feel lost in life? This is a deep question again, and kind of. I want to go too deep into it, but I would say yes. Would you consider yourself a natural leader? Yeah, school taught me that no one wants to do group work stuff, or no one ever divides like tasks to different people. So, if you have like a group of 3-4 introverts or something like that, and you're the 5th guy or the 4th guy there, you have to do some stuff. And that goes back to my answer at the beginning of this video. I'm like 50-50 introvert and extrovert in this case, because in some scenarios I'm really introverted, in others I can be really extroverted, and this would be one of them. So I would go with yes. If you could push a button and destroy the whole world, would you press it? Nope. Just because your own life sucks, you don't need to end it for others as well. That's the only thing I have to say. Do you sometimes dream of being a hero? No. Have you ever been bullied? Easy yes. Have you ever bullied someone else? Also a easy yes. Would you consider yourself to be a dreamer? Sure. I mean, a dreamer, if you say stuff like daydreaming and stuff like that, or having dreams about the future, you know, like careers and stuff like that, sure, definitely. Do you sometimes hurt people's feelings unintentionally? Even though this question hurts, I have to go with yes. Thing is, I am really blunt sometimes. And I have to say that. I have to be truthful to myself, and I know it's a good and a bad thing to have, but let's say I am, you know, really annoyed with somebody because of a certain thing. I will say it to them no matter what. Sometimes, like, I don't have a good filter in my brain to not do that stuff. I mean, it has gotten better over the years, but I still do that sometimes, and the way I say that might not be the nicest, thinking back to what I say afterwards sometimes, and I think I might come off as a little bit too much of an asshole sometimes. I know, it's a bad trait of me, but I'm trying to get better with it, but and not be inconsiderable or something. I don't know. This one is a question that is best left alone. I don't know. This is difficult. This is difficult. I think I probably hurt someone at least once in my life with something like that. I don't know. I can't really say because, you know, a lot of people are introverted these days, and, you know, if they're sad, they don't usually talk about that. So it's difficult. It's really difficult sometimes to figure out if they are really, really sad or just have a bad mood. Do you find space fascinating? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be an artist? Also a yes. Would you consider yourself to be a good friend? I think being a good friend also means being honest. And I like to be honest with my friends, and I really appreciate them being honest with me. And looking at my closest group of friends, or even my closest friend, that honesty is going through the roof pretty much. Like, I'm honest with him, he's honest with me, and everything pretty much worked out great. And yeah, I would consider him to be a good friend because he does the same thing as I do to him with being honest. So, yes. Would you consider yourself to be flawed? I think no one is perfect in this case. Do you believe in perfection? Looks like I knew the following question. Do you believe in perfection? Honestly, no. There is no such thing as perfection in my eyes. Because for something to be perfect, it would have to be unanimously considered perfect. And there is no such thing that could ever be that, right? It could be perfect to you or to someone else. Best thing I can give an example on is I make a beat for a musician, like a rapper or something, and I give it to him, and he thinks, wow, that's the best beat I've heard in my entire life, right? But someone else I sent this beat to would be like, what the hell is that? You know, like, question mark, question mark, question mark emoji, right? So, while I think like, for me personally, something could be perfect, for someone else, it couldn't. So, because this question is so broad, I don't really know what to answer. Like, I would lean to no, but then I would be like, but am I talking to myself or am I talking to the broader audience, right? I mean, talking back to No, no, I can't get myself to vote yes. I really can't. There is so much. No. I've thought about it. There is no such thing as perfection. Because if there was one thing that's perfect, everything else would be not as good, right? There can't be multiple perfections. Or can there? I don't know. I'm just going to go with no. Have you ever stolen from someone? Accidentally? Sure. Intentionally? No. But accidentally, yes. So, yep. Would you ever kill someone under any circumstances? Under any circumstances? Any circumstances? No. Certain circumstances, yes. Having to protect me and my family, my friends, myself, you know, best example would be, I don't know, there's no good example for that, but if there was someone coming for my head, right, and I needed to defend myself, and I'm sure he would kill me, like, let's say that buff as fuck, I don't know, 300-pound all muscle guy came up to me that is like, I don't know, 6'7" or something, and he would definitely try to kill me, with everything he could. I would try to defend myself, and I think the only way to defend yourself and not be grounded up into human something, I don't know, would be to kill, right? I mean, maybe knock him out, but I don't know, maybe you can't knock that guy out because you're too short or something. I don't know, it's such a difficult question. I mean, if someone walked up to you with a gun, hold it to your face, and you would have a knife in your hand, would you stab that guy? That's the kind of thing I'm imagining, right? Let's say I don't know, someone is holding a gun to my chest or something like that, and I have a knife in my pocket in my hand, and it's flipped open. Would I take it out and stab the fuck out of him, or would I do what he wants? So difficult questions. Anyways, I'm going too far. Would you ever cover someone under any circumstances? No. Any circumstances? No. Certain? Sure? I'm not sure. I don't know. If you had one day to live, would you tell anyone? Sure. Have you ever told your darkest secrets to someone? No. Do you trust me even though you know nothing about me? I don't trust you at all. Do you know who I am? No, and I don't care. If I appeared behind you right now, would you scream? Not really. If I told you that I've been behind you this entire time, would that scare you? No. Would you consider yourself to be empathetic? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be romantic? No. Have you ever been in a physical fight? Yes. Are you prone to headaches or migraines? Thankfully, no. But my stomach is a little bitch. Sometimes. But that's not the question. Do you look at the ground when you walk? Yes. Are you attracted to the opposite sex? Yes. Would you ever shave your head? Yes. Under some circumstances, I could imagine doing that. Sure. Are you attracted to muscular bodies? Muscular? Like bodybuilder? No. Slim? Slim? Like good curves and stuff like that? Yes, but muscular? No. Do you ever dance when no one is looking? Yes. Do you trust your best friend entirely? No. Do you remember your childhood extremely well? No. Also to that friendship question, entirely is a heavy word. Like, even if I trust someone, the most I can trust them is 98%. not 100. So that's why I went with no there, by the way. Would you rob a bank if you could get away with it? Who wouldn't? Do you ever dream about running from a killer? I have Dead by Daylight for that, so no. No, honestly, I don't know. Some parts in my brain say yes, because... not to sound like an asshole or something, I would like to know how it feels to go like, oh fuck, there is a killer somewhere around here and he's going to murder me if he catches me. Just because I am morbidly curious about how that would feel. Like, mentally, and how it would affect my body. Pretty much. Would I puke? Or would I have gathered, like, a secret power within myself that I can run, like, 2 kilometers or, like, 1.45 miles? I don't know how that translates. I'm not sure. Probably, like, 1.3, 1.4 miles or something like that. Without losing my breath, right? I'm kind of morbidly curious about that, honestly. And because of that, I will go with yes. But also, no one wants to run from a killer, right? No one wants to die. So, also no. But these questions in my mind kind of tell me to go with yes for this one. Do you ever dream about falling off a cliff? Honestly, no. I have thought about that, but I never dreamt about it. Do you ever dream about being naked in public? No. Do you enjoy scary movies or books? Oh, yes, that's what I like the most, honestly. Do you enjoy comedic television shows or movies? See, I've been watching a lot of South Park lately. With friends and on my own time as well, which is incredibly rare for me, but, you know, South Park isn't a typical show, so you can just, you know, go for a season, choose a random episode, and you can just watch it for 20 minutes and be done with it. So, yeah, sure. Do you like being the center of attention? I would go with yes. Sure, I guess. I'm not sure why I would say no. I don't know why I would say yes on that question, so I'm just going to go with yes because, you know, being the center of attention makes you probably feel good because you accomplished something, I guess. So, you know, that's my thought process on that. Do you feel like something is always watching you? Not always. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to go to space? Sure. Yes. Have you ever had an out-of-body experience? Honestly, with the amount of times I've gotten high, I don't think that will ever happen to me. So no. Have you ever punched a nun? I've met a nun. You know, like 3 days ago or something. But no, I didn't punch her. Do you like dogs better than cats? They're equal to me. I like dogs, I like cats, I like birds. Yes. No, oh, of course not. No. Do you prefer to read more than you prefer to watch movies? Honestly, I'm not that big of a reader myself. I don't read books at all. Like blogs, sometimes, you know, especially with the current situations, I kind of like to read up on stuff. But, you know, like, read a book, like a Harry Potter book or something like that, I don't know. Nah, not my type. Are you still wondering why I asked you if you've ever punched a nun? Sure. Do you get starstruck easily? No. Do you hate going to big parties and social gatherings? No. Is your favorite part of your birthday receiving presents? Honestly, it's, in my opinion, it's the highlight of a birthday. Like, let's say I'm throwing a birthday party, right? And I have my friends over, so it's already a good time, right? But then you maybe receive some presents, and that makes that good time to a holy shit good time. But is it my favorite part? I don't know, because, you know, you get like a, I don't know, is it the dopamine rush and the endorphin rush? I don't know what it is, but like you get presents and you're like, wow, presents, cool. But the most you will remember is probably the time you've spent with, you know, friends or family, more than your presents. Of course, you will keep your presents, but you know, the memories will probably be more catered towards eating cake, watching some movies, I don't know, going outside, hanging out in a pub, I don't know. Not during these times, of course, but, you know. So, I would go with no for this one, and because of the explanation I gave to you right now, because of memories and stuff like that, I'm going with no, but the first time I played this, I went with yes, because of the, you know, the rush, the excitement you get from receiving presents, but just because of that, I'm going with no for now. Or should I go with yes? Oh, this is the problem is the rush you get from receiving presents is huge, right? And that's the thing that will make you feel even better the following days, probably even. Like, let's say it's your birthday and your parents buy you a new phone or something. That would be that's huge. That's amazing, right? Especially from someone who's not living in a higher class society, and I switch my phone pretty much every 5 years or so. No, not 5, but you know, maybe 4 or something. Like I rarely switch phones, right? So if someone went up to me on my birthday being like, here's a new phone, and it's a phone I always wanted, right? It's a new device, it's great, it's fast and stuff like that. I think I'm pretty sure that would be the highlight of the day, maybe? Maybe? For real, I can't decide. So, you know, there's good parts on both sides, but just because I will have to go with yes. It's difficult. It's difficult. Seriously though, have you ever punched a nun? Like, really? Just bam! Right in the face. Nun punch. I haven't. Did you laugh? Yes. I still think it's funny. Did you say, what the fuck? In your head? Or even aloud? Now I did, but no, not before. I'm now eager to somehow get the opportunity to punch a nun sometime soon. No. Even though it's funny, it's a funny thought, but eager? No. If there's a hell, do you think you're going to it? Sure. For laughing at that, hell yeah. Do you enjoy fantasy fiction games? I've been playing Monster Hunter, which is a fantasy fiction game, pretty much. You know, dragons don't exist, so it's fantasy for sure. Yeah, sure. Do you masturbate frequently? Hell yes. Are you wondering what constitutes frequently? Also yes. What is your frequently? Once a day? Or like 17 times a day? Are you more than slightly uncomfortable right now? No, I thought that question was hilarious. Is your mouth dry? No. Does profanity make you uncomfortable? Nope. You believe in legendary beasts such as the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot? No. Are you poor with money management? Yes. Do you enjoy solving mathematical puzzles? Mathematical? No. Puzzles? Yes. Mathematical puzzles in games? Also yes. I will go with yes. Do you speak more than one language fluently? I think I speak English quite well. I speak German. I speak a little bit of Turkish. I mean, I've been living in Germany for my whole existence pretty much, so speaking Turkish is, not second nature to me, but I'm trying to learn it, as it's my mother tongue, and I should probably learn that. But yeah, I speak 3 languages. I know a little bit of Dutch as well, so yes, I have to go with yes. Have you ever visited a country other than your own? Yes. Do you enjoy coffee? Sometimes, sure. Do you believe in demons? I am one. Of course I do, and I'm just joking. Honestly, no. Do you believe in angels? Also, no. Are you afraid of sharks? Quite frankly, no. Do you prefer baths over showers? I love my showers. I love my showers. Does the smell of perfume or cologne give you headaches? Nope. Do you see that shadow move in your room a few moments ago? There was no shadow in my room. Go fuck yourself. Do you ever hear your name being called even when you know no one is calling it? Guys and girls, I have a story for you guys. I can't explain what the fuck happened at that day, but let me tell you, it was creepy. So, it was the middle of the day. Currently, it's like 3 p.m., like 3:20 p.m. or something like that. Yeah, it's 3:20 p.m. Perfect. It was, around this time of day. But like, I don't know, I was in 9th, 8th grade or something like that. Like 8th, 9th grade or something like that. And the only people in my home were me and my sister, right? And my parents were out. I don't know if they were shopping or like buying groceries or something like that, but they were out, definitely. They were gone. And I can 100% tell you, I heard my sister's name and my name be called, and I went to check. I stood up, went to the right to the door, right? And I opened it. Right as I did that, my sister also opened the door and looked at, we have a hallway separating the room of me and my sister, so we're like parallel, right? So if I come out of my room and she comes out of her room, we would stay right in front of each other. And I looked left and she looked right, because on the right from her place are the stairs to the first floor, right? And we both looked, but like we both came out of the room fully expecting that my parents had come home either with some food or something. I don't know, I can't remember. And we both heard or had heard our names being called, but our parents weren't there. Like, there was no one. We checked downstairs, we looked through the living room, the kitchen, everywhere. No one was home. Not even in the back garden or anything. They weren't home. 2 hours later, my parents finally came home and told us that they weren't home during that time. Like, they didn't come home for like a second and said, bye-bye again, we are going somewhere else, see you later, or anything like that. Like, they weren't home during that whole time. And that is one of the most terrifying fucking moments in my life. Because not only did I hear it, but also my sister heard it. And I'm 100% certain it was the fucking voice of my mother. It sounds like a ghost tale or something, like no sleep, /no sleep. But my sister can confirm that shit. And I don't know what the frick happened at that day. It probably has some normal explanation to it. Maybe something sounded like someone like my mother was calling. It just, I don't know. That is one of the most terrifying shit things that happened. Like, I like that just sends shivers down my spine. So I'm just going to go with yes for this one. The things in your home often go missing and then reappear later. They often go missing, but they don't reappear later. Usually I have to find them somewhere in my pocket of jeans or a, you know, something, like 3 weeks later because I forgot to take it out when I was still wearing that pair of shorts, jeans, or whatever. I don't know. So, no, they don't reappear later. Do you ever hear footsteps around you when you're alone? That's an easy yes. But that's because I'm living in a sort of, not really apartment complex, but the houses I live in are like right next to each other, so I can hear my neighbors walking around their home when I'm, let's say I'm going downstairs. The stairs of the next home are so close to my own stairs that I can hear people going up and down the stairs in that other home. So yeah, I sometimes hear footsteps when I'm alone. Do you ever hear random knocking noises around you? No. Do you often look at the same time? Do you often look at the same time on the clock every day? Yes. I look at the clock so often. I look at it pretty much every minute of the day. So yes. Have you ever felt your feet being grabbed at night while sleeping? No. Do you have any pets? Not anymore. It's been a while. Is your favorite color green? Nope. Are you attracted to a family member? No. If you won the lottery, would you share the money with anyone? Yes. If you could be the dictator of your own country, would you accept the role? Son of a bitch. Yes. Probably. I think. Thing is, I don't like dictatorships all too much. Well, I don't like is a little bit too harsh, I think. I'm not accustomed to them. I mean, dictatorships can work, I guess, right? I think Taiwan has a dictatorship, if I'm not wrong. I think I spoke with a friend of mine about that before. I think it's a dictatorship, right? And it's working out quite well, even though a lot of things don't. And protests are banned and stuff like that. So there's a lot of drawbacks to a dictatorship. But we're talking about, you know, probably my own country is already a dictatorship, right? So if my own country is already a dictatorship and I can become the leader of that dictatorship, I would accept that role. But usually I wouldn't go for that route. So if I go with the thought that my country is already a dictatorship, and there's some asshole sitting, you know, and dictating everyone else in the country, and I'm like, fuck that guy, and I want to change the world or something, like my country or something like that, I would do that, but, you know, it's not the point. It's just, I don't know what to say. This is a stupid question. I mean, not stupid, but the thing is, I can't do everything right, but as it stands right now, the thing is, there's so much stuff going into this, because this is like so political, and I don't like it. Like, I do, because, you know, my gears are grinding right now because I'm thinking about so much shit, but everyone would be like, oh yeah, if I'm the dictator of my own country, let's say, you know, the country I'm living in is a dictatorship and I could become the dictator of my own country, everyone would be like, yeah, I'm going to make stuff so much better, you guys. Then you get elected and you become the most corrupted son of a bitch in the world, and nothing really changes because you just get fed oil money and some random bullshit, and nothing really changes. Ta-da, you made $20 million last year because you made some stupid laws or some bullshit and you became as corrupted as the ones you hated before. So, you know, everyone wants to do change, but hey, if there's like 20 million on the line, you would probably take that. Just gonna be honest, you would probably take that. I'm just going to go with yes because it's the first, when I played it the first time, I chose yes. But I know what would happen to a lot of people. And not to a lot of people, to pretty much everyone. Even if you don't want to accept that reality, it's what's happening right now as well. I mean, we're not in a dictatorship in my own country in any sort of way. Not yet at least. But standing here right now, we had, you know, a pretty decent change of, you know, political powers in the last couple of years, especially in Germany, with like different parties being on the front now, and everyone was like, yeah, those motherfuckers are going to change the bad shit to good shit, right? And then you find out that most of them are kind of corrupt anyways, like not as corrupt as the party before them, but you know, the new parties aren't in the game for long enough to really tell, right? At least right now, like, you know, people are corrupt, but to which degree? Everyone's corrupt. Not everyone, but a lot of them, and people will probably turn corrupt, especially in a dictatorship. And I don't know. You know what? Rather I do it than someone else, I guess. Fuck, I hate that question. I hate it. I hated it. There's no good answer in that question. Am I the stupid son of a bitch that ruins the world or makes it better, maybe? Or do I leave it to someone else to do it for me? I hate that question. Fuck. Do you ever wonder what it would be like to be in prison? No, I don't want to be in prison. Do you like fishing? It's relaxing, but like it, not too sure. I would say no. Do you like hunting? I've never been hunting in my life, honestly. But I imagine it to be fun because I've, you know, shot around with a couple of guns in my life before, and I think firing weapons can be fun. I mean, this one makes me sound like the biggest American out there, but honestly, I like to go to shooting ranges and shoot weapons and stuff. It's cool. Nothing more to it. I mean, you know, firing weapons is cool, but, you know, weapons are still weapons, right? I mean, I really don't have to say a lot more than that. I mean, weapons are there to kill people or things, and yeah, I don't know. I like weapons. I don't like their use. Let me just say it like that. Do you like hunting? I'm just going to go. Yeah. I don't know. Do you like camping? Yes. Do you like guns? I already talked about that. Are you getting tired of answering these questions? Not tired per se, but I'm second guessing myself on everything I've been saying so far. And I'm trying to be honest, but my brain just doesn't know what to do anymore. Would you consider yourself to be kinky? Everyone is. If you don't know your kink, find out on Pornhub. No, I don't know. Eyes are the window to the soul. Do you agree? Yes. Do you always keep your promise? I try to. Would you ever completely trust someone who's lied to you? No. Are you an only child? No. Do you ever enjoy being drunk? Yeah, sometimes. Sure. Do you like tattoos? Sure. I don't have any, but I don't mind them. Do you enjoy being high in any form? Yes. Do you believe you have a soul? Sure. Did you cry this week? No. Are you upset with someone right now? Not at this point, no. Is there someone you're not being completely honest with daily? Yes. Do you understand how this works yet? Yes. If you answer the questions twice, your truth may change. It's not just about answering the questions, it's about the time you spent answering them. The combination you answer them in. It's about... What? Wait. It's about the time you spend answering them, the combination you answer them in. It's about many different variables you'd never guess. Do you understand? Yes. Are you wondering if the end of the test is coming soon based on the previous questions you just answered? Yes. If I were to tell you that this entire process was planned here for you, specifically you, to learn something about yourself and anyone else that bothers you, then this is just a byproduct of its intention, would you believe that? I don't know. If I were to tell you that this entire process was planned here for you, specifically you, to learn something about yourself and anyone else that bothers you, then this is just a byproduct of its intention, would you believe that? Sure. Yeah. Are you afraid of being abandoned? Yes. Are you afraid of dying alone? No. Do you worry that one day you'll be unexpectedly murdered? No. Are you always on guard, waiting to fend off an attack? When I'm outside, yes. When I'm home, no. Do you feel like I know you yet? No you don't. Have you heard any strange noises while answering these questions? In-game, yes. Outside, no. So fuck you. I think we have enough information about you. Whether you skipped questions, answered them honestly or dishonestly, took loads of time to respond, or answered quickly without reading or understand probably, I've been able to tell. I'm calculating your results. I'm analyzing you very carefully. I'm judging you. Ooh. Judging me like everyone else is probably doing right now. Based on what you've told me, this is what I can conclude. You just might be the most beautiful soul to walk on this earth without ever even realizing it. You have so much love inside to give, and you don't have enough people to truly give it to. You may have to try extra hard to find enough people willing to accept your love, but once they accept you and let you in, they will never want to let you go. Anyone who isn't interested in giving you a chance is not worthy of your love. Remember that and hold it dear to you. You do not want to get hurt, but you need to understand that only those willing to take a hit will go somewhere in life. Forgive those who have wronged you in the past, but do not forget the lessons they taught you. This is imperative to your happiness. More people should really give you a chance sometimes. Not for your benefit, but for their own. They're really missing out on such a wonderful individual, and all the things you have to offer to them. You know that no matter what, whether people wisen up and begin to understand you for who you really are, or whether they just ignore it for whatever reason, you are going to be just fine. Your success and happiness is determined by one thing, and one thing only: yourself. Your secret word is fairness. Remember this word. This will come in handy. So, take the secret word that was assigned to you at the end of your session and leave it in the comments for us. We will be selecting some of you based on your answers to be included in a future project we're currently working on. Don't be afraid, this is an opportunity for you to be part of history. This is a chance for you to be part of something greater. Be sure to note your secret word in your comments. If you do not wish to be a part of an upcoming project, simply leave your secret word out of your comments and we will not select your name. We appreciate any and all comments you leave and we always read them thoroughly. thank you for taking the time to answer these questions. I know they've been of some help to you, and if they aren't yet, it will all make sense very soon. Trust me on that. And this was it. Before I talk about what I got for words, I want to talk about the first time I played through this game in a little bit more of a rush. And this one is really interesting to me. Let me just quickly turn this down, or let's have a little bit of an ambience on the background. The first word I got was appreciate. And it was a different ending to this one, definitely. I don't fully remember everything that was being said. I remember parts of it, but I'm not going to go through a mental jog right now to try to recollect everything. And one of the things I found fairly interesting was that it was a rare word to appear in the comments section, quote unquote comments section, in the review section of Steam. I only saw it once when I scrolled through everything, and appreciate and fairness are probably two words that are honestly kind of, I wouldn't say it's not true, right? The thing is, I don't know enough about psychology, or if this is just, a standard typical run of the mill, the only one who can do it is yourself, blah blah blah, just some bullshit to make you feel good, right? But the endings spoke at least somewhat close to me, I guess, right? I think, at least, some flattering words here and there aren't going to make it true, definitely. It's still just a game, You don't know how much research has been put into this game, but it was definitely a nice little experience, honestly. 1 hour and 22 minutes. Holy shit. I've been going on some tangents, which I'm pretty much known for, so yeah, this was amazing. I really, really enjoyed that. And without further ado, I'm just going to leave this here. So, thank you everyone so much for watching. Tell me in the comment section down below if you have anything else, if you've played it yourself, what your word is, and a brief description maybe of what it means. Would be nice to know if people got the same or a different answer, So, yeah, have a great time everyone, and peace out. Bye!